Hey guys, Brandon here with True Fly Supply. In this month, we are going to talk about how to tie the CDC Emerger. This is like one of my favorite flies of all time, especially out in Colorado. So let's go ahead and jump right in and get started here. Go ahead and take your hook and get it put in the vise. This is just a simple size 16 caddis hook. So we're going to go ahead and do that and get our thread started. As always, trim off the waste. And then next what we're going to do is we're going to take our silver ribbing wire that came in. Let's see here, where does it get started at? We'll pull a little bit of that off. Always make sure you have a good tight hold on it because it does want to unravel. So I'm going to take my wire scissors here. Wire is one of those things that will get away from you real quick, so make sure you have a nice firm grip on it when you're doing that. Go ahead and tie in your ribbing wire. This is a pretty quick and easy fly. We're going to bring our thread all the way back to about the bend in the shank back here. And we're going to bring, once we have that done, we're going to bring our thread all the way back up front again. Probably to about where there's about a hook eye's length in between here. So we don't want to come all the way up to the front. Take your ribbing wire and making nice even space in between each of your wraps, go ahead and wrap your ribbing wire all the way forward. Just like so. And then go ahead and tie it in right at that point where your thread was there. Like, give it a couple twists around the wire so that way I know it's nice and secure. Once your thread is secure, just go ahead and, in a helicopter motion, break it off. And then we're going to bust out one of our CDC puffs. So there's a couple different ways to tie this part in, and this is just kind of my preferred method. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take that little, there's like a little nub right there. We're going to take that, and that's actually what we're going to tie in right here. This might take a little bit here, especially if you're newer to tying. I'm just going to bring up my thread here so I don't have like so much going out. Bingo, just like that. Now the key to tying this and keeping everything nice and neat, get your fingers a little wet and then just bring all those fibers together. I'm not saying soak it, but just, you know, bring your fibers together. So the next thing we're going to grab is our dubbing. This is normally done with dubbing, but another material I like to substitute in is like a little bit of peacock curl every once in a while. Change things up depending on what I'm doing. This is a fly that can be changed a bunch of different ways and still have it be just as effective. Remember, a little bit of dubbing goes a long way, and I might actually have too much here, so we're just gonna go with it and see what we got. No, that's just about right, actually. Okay, so now that you have that dubbing ball built up nice and neat, what you're going to do is bring your thread to the eye of the hook. Now this is the next part, and this is a bit interesting. See, my CDC is drying out here a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and wetting her down again, and then you're going to take all that CDC and lay it across the back. Go ahead and lock that in to the eye of the hook right there. Perfect. And once you have that locked in, this is actually where we whip finish. So we're going to go ahead and grab our whip finisher. and we're just going to very nice and gently lock it in. Just like that. Go ahead and trim off your thread here. Now we're not done just yet, so obviously we're going to take just a dab of head cement here just to lock all the thread and everything, make sure everything stays nice and neat. Might be a little bit too much here. Just lock that in. Now what we're looking for as far as how big the plume needs to be. You know what? I actually just noticed we got a stray scapie right there, so we're gonna just take him out of the equation. As far as the plume goes, this is actually not too bad. I do like it a little bit shorter. So what I'm gonna do, again, moisten it, get all the fibers together, bring it back, and then just kind of trim it up about right there. And there. Now it looks a little gross because obviously it's damp from my spit, but there you go. And that's the CDC Emerger. That's pretty much like one of my favorite go-to flies of all time right there. You can tie it in tan as well as black, obviously right here. And chartreuse actually last year was kind of a real winner right there. So chartreuse is kind of the unexpected underdog for this one, but I guess it makes sense, you know. So that being said, that's the CDC Emerger. For other fly tying subscription boxes, go ahead head over to our site, hit subscribe, and you'll find all of our fly tying boxes, and you can get boxes, tie flies just like this one. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.